What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Big D here. It's time to review Hannibal, Season 3, Episode 2, titled Primavera. This is a spoiler review. If you've not seen the episode, go to nbc.com/Hannibal. Watch the full episode there real quick. Also on Thursdays, or shows that are on Thursday, I review Wayward Pines and Aquarius, which is an NBC show. Also, Halt and Catch Fire, upcoming The Last Ship, Falling Skies, The Strain, Tyrant. I'm going to try Tyrant Season 2. I tried Season 1, but I didn't last long, but just upcoming shows, to let you know. Let's get right to it. Just take me less than 2 minutes, recap the episode, pros and cons, my opinions, and final score at the end. Also, quick note, those of you who don't know, I haven't seen Hannibal Season 1 and 2. I kind of jumped on, and last week, wow, what an episode. The way it's filmed, the lighting, the writing, the directing, the acting. So, this week have the same feeling as the first week. Let's see. Will Graham, who is, I guess, one of the main characters besides Hannibal, he has a nightmare, basically, and I guess remembering the time when Hannibal killed the girl he liked, Abigail. I guess Abigail is a love interest for Will, I guess. And the blood and like what? I knew he was gonna cut her throat and everything, but I was like, it was so brutal and intense and gross, and I was like, I watch a lot of bloody stuff, but why is this gross to me? I don't know why Hannibal always does that to me. But he survived everything, you know, they're all covered in blood, and was rising up, and that was like, I remember, I believe in Hannibal Season 1, I saw a trailer a long time ago, and there was like a deer or something walking, and I guess there was a dead deer on the floor, and blood, everything. I guess that's a significant role. The deer has a big role. Anyway, he's looking for Hannibal basically now in present day, and I like how he's like, Hannibal is not God. So now, I guess Hannibal 20 years before, he killed this officer named, or Detective Pazzi, I guess from the books. He was painting Primavera, and Hannibal killed these two people to reimagine the Primavera, this guy looking like that, girls like that, you know, that type of thing. So he's like the monster of Florence, and I was like, okay, that's intense right there. It shows a picture of young Hannibal and everything, and I was like, not bad. The Monster of Florence, cool title. Now they have a heart in the church, which is in present day, and it's like a body folded up limb to limb, and the head's gone, and it's really disgusting. It's a broken heart. It's Hannibal's broken heart. I was like, wow, it's a little bit too far-fetched, don't you think? And literally, Will's mind, I can't tell if he's supposed to be a psychopath also. I can't tell. And the heart started beating boom, 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 boom. And the body started unfolding. And I'm sorry to say this. This may be, to some people, may agree and may disagree. It doesn't matter really for this type of show, but the effects were just, the effects were not that, you know, they looked so computerized, green screen, not green screen, but, you know, really fake. Of course, I don't know how much money they have in the budget for each episode, but it doesn't really matter, but still the effects, little points off. And, a deer horns come out, or whatever, the antlers, and I was like, what? Will's crazy, he's really damaged, and he needs, maybe just to get away from Hannibal, where Hannibal can't, find him, in Fiji or something. But, of course, he has to, stop Hannibal, or be with Hannibal, I don't know. So, his broken heart, Hannibal is literally watching him, just, from afar, and he has, his motorcycle jacket on, and his, you know, lover boy haircut and everything. He hasn't gone anywhere. He's still here. That is one of the most intense lines, because they're in the catacombs now. Pazzi follows Will into the catacombs. Stupid idea, young man. You're gonna get killed. But Will's I think Will was something you shouldn't be here. You're carrying the dead on your shoulder. You don't want to join them. Go back to the chapel. Carry them back to the chapel. And then he literally just walks. There's darkness in the back, and he's kind of you need to head back to the chapel. Disappears into the darkness. And I was like, what? That was a pretty freaking cool line, but that was so cheesy. He just like disappears in the dark. I was like, why? Why? How do you know you don't like stumble upon like, oh shit, you know, like, I'm just saying, you know, be careful. I'm freaked about those catacombs. Like, I wonder if they actually filmed no catacombs. That's like disturbing the peace right there, like souls and everything. So be careful. But Will says, Hannibal, I forgive you. And Hannibal's just kind of like, walk away next week. So he's basically lurking in the dark. And that's the episode, man. Overall, what did I think about this Hannibal episode? I don't think it was as strong as the season premiere last week. I don't think it was like, you know, just the way it was directed and Eddie Izzard last week and the writing. And the writing's not bad this week. It's really, really done well. And when you look at it, this show is artistic. It's supposed to be artistic and dark, and it's supposed to be gritty. Now, I'm going to go with my cons first, just to get that out of the way. First off, Detective Pazzi. Now, I know it's part of the storyline, like 20 years before the whole Primavera thing, but Detective Pazzi is really annoying in this episode. I mean, literally, like every time Will is having, like, Abigail's dead, by the way, and he's like, she's a figment of his imagination, so like he's helping her, like, or she's helping him, blah blah blah, and like she disappears, disappear. But the whole Detective Pazzi thing, he literally interrupts Will all the time. Like, I mean, like, it's about to get good, and then he's like, hello, Will, are you praying to God? And I'm like, can you leave already? Like, ugh. And then he appears in the catacomb with a gun. I'm like, please, Hannibal, just kill him, please kill him. And he doesn't get killed. And I heard, like, in the book somewhere, Red Dragon and all that, that Pazzi does die. If that is a book character, so, or it doesn't end well for him. Hannibal always likes to eat. Why can't he just kill someone and that's it? Not like just eat people. You know, just okay, I'm not gonna eat you. Just, you know, there you go. But whatever, man. It's confusing. This episode's confusing for me, especially when you're watching it at 3 in the morning and you finish the episode at 10. Like when you're like, I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna save it here, watch it in the morning. Then it makes sense. So it's a little bit confusing over time because I don't know who Abigail is, and I guess I get a sense of Abigail in this episode. Also, walking into the dark. This is just little nitpicks. It's nothing that big, but just, yeah. Now my pros. First off, can I just say the music in here? I love the music. The music is what makes this show, besides being dark, it makes it more horrific, more brutal, I guess I should say. Just the way of lurking in the dark and the music, and each scene has different music. It's just so freaking awesome. The directing here and the catacombs and the set pieces and the place where we visit, the lighting, even though he goes into the dark, the lighting is so, they're saying a happy rainbow show, of course, everyone knows that, but you already know the style and tone of the show, and it's set like that. It's beautifully done. I love the opening, because the opening was literally like 7-8 minutes long straight through. Will's covered in blood and everything, and Hannibal's like, just, you know, you can't really understand him because, I don't know, this accent of the character, but I don't know what he's saying. Sometimes I have to like, what's going on? And I still can't hear Hannibal. I'm like, oh, speak, like, I need subtitles or something. But still, I really do need subtitles, by the way. Sometimes I can't understand anything he's saying. It's just like, I'm like, what? Oh, let's do once. It is creepy, and the whole heart thing, that was disgusting and gross, and I'm assuming it was Tony from last week, the guy who like got his neck broken and everything. I'm assuming that's his body. So that's pretty disgusting. I do like how it's intense and the throat's like slitting and everything, like cut. And I like how Hannibal was looking the whole time. I was like, Hannibal, say something, say something, say something. And he's like, I forgive you. Do you, Will? Do you really forgive me? And then he comes out, kiss me. Something like that. I don't know. I've been more better. But kiss my wedding ring. Kiss my ring. I don't know. It's going to get more intense next week because we're going back to Lecter's home, I guess, where Lecter's mom is buried and everything. So that's going to be dark. Again, it really mindfucks you. So, like, be careful with your mind, because I watch Wayward Pines. That show messes with your head. I also watch Aquarius, which has Charles Manson. He messes with your head. I also watch this show, messes with my head. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't understand. So overall, I'm going to give this episode of Hannibal a solid B. It's a good episode overall. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first episode last week. I also like the way it was more like a movie type of directing last week with those flashbacks. They didn't do it this week. Mostly it was just regular TV show type of filming. So the directing was all good, the way it moved and the camera angles and everything and the way it progressed. But still, I prefer last week's episode better with Gillian Anderson and Hannibal himself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this Hannibal episode. See you for next week. Spock be with you always.